Well, good afternoon, everyone. Dave and I are in Seckford Hall in the deepest part of Suffolk in the UK, and we've just come here for some relaxation, a massage, and some lunch on a beautiful summer's afternoon. So, Dave, you wanted to ask some questions and a little discussion about.
Let's talk.
things.
Let's talk about how you and I met, because I think that's a wonderful thing, and I love this idea that every time you meet a person, it could create a whole new world. Maybe nothing might happen at all, or it could lead to just all sorts of possibilities. And this ripple effect, I've always been fascinated. This idea that it's just something inescapable. When we live, we influence, and that's what happens. And hopefully, it's a positive influence.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. Yeah.
So
The way we met, well, you sent me a text message out the blue and asked me if I'd like to work with you internationally again. And yeah, so that was the last time we worked together, was some 25 years ago in a previous life, and I was intrigued. So then we got on a Zoom call, and you told me your amazing story about Avini. And I think I asked you, do you think these marvellous products would help me? And you said, I don't know, why don't you try? So that was what, nearly 2 years ago now?
about 2 years ago.
About 2 years. And so I bought some products and we shipped them over to the UK, and thank the Lord we did, because some marvellous things happened. First of all, I was using the products on my own. My wife at the time wasn't too keen. She thought I was crazy.
Here we go again.
she thought I was crazy using these supplements. Anyway, I started using Rick's marvellous invention, our tip of the spear, celldefender, and I believe that I had a serious condition. I call it old-timers, where I couldn't remember passwords and people's names. That's embarrassing, Jonathan, Dave. And we noticed some difference in me, first of all, and I could remember passwords after a few weeks. Silly things like my glasses. When I wore glasses to look at my phone, they were out of focus, and I couldn't work out why. And then I realised that I could see the phone more clearly, and all I'd been doing was taking celldefender. And then something serious happened in my life. Was Susie collapsed one morning at home. I was rushed into hospital, a serious condition with a gallbladder. Took 6 months. She was under a lot of pain. 6 months of our health service to operate and remove that gallbladder. In and out of hospital 9 times, and seriously wasn't well. She was very sick, and then she had the gallbladder out, and they said, marvellous, now everything will be wonderful and you'll go back to normal. But that was not true, as you know. She was seriously ill, had some very horrible conditions that even a man wouldn't like, but for a lady with tummy conditions, it's not pleasant. And I spoke to you on the phone about it, and you said to me, in that box that you bought, Adrian, there is a product called Plus Fibre. Get Susie to take it, it might help. And I was half expecting my wife to say, sure, yeah, I'll take it. And she said flatly, no, I'm not taking it. How can it possibly do anything? And then you asked to speak to her on the phone, and you told her that try it, it might help you. No guarantees, but let's see if it might help you. It won't hurt you. Yeah. All natural. And you persuaded Susie to take it. And I put some Plus Fibre into a shake, because that's all she could eat. She couldn't eat any normal food or keep any liquids down. And with a few days, she was back to her normal self, which was just unbelievable.
Wonderful. Yeah.
It was, and I will always say, and I've said this a lot of times, that if it wasn't for you calling, sending that text message, and I could have at the time bought just the celldefender on its own.
It's about the smaller kit.
Yeah, on a 299 pack, but decided at the time to buy a 499 pack, and thank God that we bought that, because the plus fiber was in there, and I'd never even knew what it was. I just was taking the celldefender, and my wife was then convinced that there was something to this mad scientist in America, as we called him at the time. Little did we know that he's one of the most wonderful men I've ever met in my life, and Rick Dyche. And we decided to come over to Dallas to a summit. And I remember walking into the reception of the hotel, and in walked Rick, and my wife rushed up to him and said, "Are you Rick Dyche?" He said, "Yeah." "And who are you?" And we explained we're from England. And Susie offered him a hug. She said, "Could I give you a hug?" And I think Rick said at the time, "I never refuse a hug from a good-looking woman." So, pardon me, Rick's wife on there, but you're very lovely yourself. But so Susie gave him a hug and told him how much he'd saved her life. And we met some wonderful people there. And the reason we made that trip, Dave, is that at the time I was looking for another business. Susie and I own a gym that we've had for 15 years, and we wanted something else without the headaches of conventional business. So that's why we came to America, saw all these wonderful people, and they're all telling us the same sort of stories about life-changing events, and we were completely convinced. And then we thought to ourselves, I wonder if we could bring this to the United Kingdom. And here we are, 2 years later, and you're sitting in our country now.
My goodness.
Enjoying the British countryside.
You've done the heavy lifting. It's here. You can actually sign up. You can order product. It comes here, and you can build an empire if you wish.
So exciting. So exciting, yeah.
Yeah, the timing's right. Just right. Market. Wow. How many people do we have?
I think at the moment, in people in Avini or people in the UK?
How many people are in Avini in the UK?
I think it's under 80.
Wow, not even 100.
Not even 100.
Surely there's going to be thousands. Who knows how many more?
Absolutely.
And population in the UK is how many?
70. I think it's 73 million.
So we could say at the right place at the right time. I think one of the keys of success is recognizing an idea or a trend, and finding a way to act on that trend, and then just really hustle. I love what Neil talks about is work hard in a growth environment, and this redefines that. But the thing that I really love, it's not just a business, it's a business that profits by doing good, a whole lot of good. And I love that idea. It's not just making money, it's making a difference.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, the idea also is, in a lot of businesses, it's not really unlike just having a job. It's very linear. You work and you get paid. Go to work, get paid, go to work. But if you could figure out a way where you could multiply yourself, which is what a big business is where lots of people are doing something, and you teach them a system, and you have a thing where people can come with you and multiply that. This is something that's already built, and so you don't have to do all of that sort of thing like regular businesses. You just, all of the hard stuff is done. We've got all the product here, everything's done. All you go is the fun part, which is making friends, building relationships, and creating a team of people that are just enthusiastic about this product. And I think if you look at all the businesses that there is, to justify having a business, it's all about having something that people need, some type of product or service. Well, ideally, it'd be something that everybody needs and nobody knows about it, and they can only get it from you. And what would be really neat is it's affordable, and also it really does have an impact. It really does make a difference. It's not just stuff. you're really transforming people. And a lot of businesses, it really doesn't do that. It's a good business, but what difference does it really make? Here is a way to make a big difference. And so this has got it all. It's fun. It can pay extremely well because you're building a team. And then this idea of recruiting other people into the dream, and Avini tracks all of that. And so as your team builds and gets a life of its own, it's just amazing where instead of you doing all the work and everything, all of a sudden other people are there with you, and those people are getting other people, and it just multiplies out. And all of a sudden you could have a positive effect on the lives of thousands of people in just a few years. And day to day, you're not putting capital at risk. Day to day, it's just sweat equity. It's your effort. The only downside is maybe emotionally, somebody might say no.
Oh dear.
Oh yeah, that's as bad as it gets. You don't get hurt.
Yeah.
No, thank you. So just be nice. You don't have to ruffle feathers or anything. It's just asking people if they'd like to take a look at something, and
very
so
simple.
It's all upside, no downside. And we've got a guy right here that's been experienced in business, a nice guy, and
Thank you.
yeah.
So are you.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun to work with good people.
That's the bit that I like, is that in businesses in the past that I've owned, I've had to work with people because of money that I didn't like. So now I've got an opportunity to only work with people I like.
That's right.
That are decent human beings, and that's what we're attracting. We're attracting people who want to make a difference. Also, that they've been held back over the last sort of 5 years with world circumstances that have come about, that have cocooned us all at home, and now we're doing what we're doing now, which is socialising, getting together, talking to each other, and also teaching people that there's another way with health. There's an alternative to, rather than us going out there trying to chase sick people, we're now saying to people, this is about prevention, preventing yourself from having a life of discomfort. We don't want to get sick, and now we've got a way to show people how to do that. And also, I will say, I've got a lot of friends who were sick financially. They found that our cost of living now in the UK is very high, and our government has taxed us beyond what we want to be taxed, and people are looking for something else. They're looking for that side business, that side hustle, a second income, as we call it here in the UK. And I've never ever started a business for under $1,000 before.
Is that beautiful?
When we opened up
with this kind of potential, too. So yeah.
So you can start it for under $1,000, and the neat part is the company sends you the products every month if you choose it to do that automatically. So you haven't got to do it. And we love auto ship here. So people get the products, and guess what, Dave? They love to continue buying them. And that's, it's only a few months now. We're in June, mid-June, and we've got more and more people that are getting excited. We've got a gathering in the next couple of days with some like-minded people, bringing new people to us to chat with you and Valerie, and you're going to paint the vision of what's been happening in America for the last 3 years now. So a very young company, but what excited us was the fact that the company was debt-free. It pays for itself. It isn't in debt, and that's unusual in today's
There's
world.
some really smart people that built this company, and what's really awesome is there's a precedent for everything. The product itself, celldefender, as actually Rick initially didn't want to have his own company. He's a researcher. He likes to do product development, and he's done literally billions of dollars in product development, but it's all been for other companies. And that's what's really cool, as all of this has already proven itself. Celldefender specifically has already gone around the world before with other companies that he licensed it to, but now what we have is, instead of other people dropping the ball. Now it's just this idea, well, if you want it done right, I guess you'll have to do it yourself. And that's what finally happened, is Rick and Neil and others that are very smart people, high integrity and competent, and they own their own manufacturing. And so it's new, and yet the novelty of owning our own equipment, everything is totally vertical, so the product is invented and developed. So we got the research laboratory, the manufacturing, and the distribution all under one roof. And this is going to be big. Boy, if you analyze stuff, if you want to think, I'm going to invest in something, I need to do some analytics and see trends and where things are going. Well, here's something where instead of buying stock, you put your effort into it, which can increase the likelihood of it happening and have enormous returns and no downside. So, wow.
I think the exciting part for Susie and I is when we went to Dallas that time, and we heard Neil talk about the marketing plan and the percentage that the company pays back to the distributors, and the fact that Neil said that, you know, we really care about you guys out there. You're doing the work, and we want to pay you. I've never ever heard a CEO of a company say, "I want to pay you," and guess what? He does. You know, so
that's my favorite comp plan. I've been doing this for years, and it's like, wow, the little guy. I've had so often where people wanted a home business, but they never made any money, and they are in this. And so it's very, very powerful.
Well, we've already had that, Dave, at our first month when we opened the UK. I had 4 people who earned a very good check, and they were shocked. They were shocked. And they earned, and last month they earned another check. And more people are now getting a check, which when I was in other companies, that didn't happen.
And success breeds success, and
Absolutely.
momentum builds, and yeah.
So we're really, really, really excited and looking forward to the future. So in 12 months' time, we've got some really big
Have
goals.
another call.
Yeah, 12 months' time, see where we are. But for me, is knowing now, like you, this is my last rodeo. I want to build this business. This is the last business I want to build. But the good bit is, in the gym business, we were on our own. But we're fortunate. We have you. We have Paul Stowers, Rick, Neil, Tony Abeda, who's helped us in the past, a lovely lady, and working with people cross-line that want you to succeed as well. I mean, that's something I haven't seen for a long time, which is really, really nice. Yeah,
it's fun. It can pay well, and you're making a difference. And I think you ought to go for it. Check this out. It's worthy of your most serious